Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's February 3rd. It's February 3rd, man. It's my birthday today, man. Happy birthday to the charm God. Happy birthday to me, man. 40 is a great year. Getting to 40, unlocking unk level, as I say, is an achievement that a lot of people don't get to, and especially a lot of American black men. So I'm very happy that I've made it to year 40. Year 40, man. So just for that, man, give me a like for making it to year 40. This happy birthday to me. February 3rd is a great day. And it's also a great day to get out here and do what I love to do the most, and that's create content and have uncomfortable conversations, man. For anybody just tuning in for the first time, is me, Boy Drew, the Charm Guy, king of controversial, uncomfortable conversations, and you are tuned in to the Charm Hour live. Um, Man, it is so much to cover today. And if you could, before I even get to that, throw 50K in the chat, man. 50K is symbolic of the 50,000 sub movement campaign that we have going on here at the channel because we want 50,000 people in on the uncomfortable, controversial conversations that we have. So we got to say that too. We got to get that out the way. Man, we are living in some hot times. We're living in a very hot topic time right now. And politically, I mean, I just don't. If you're not glued to the tube politically, if you're not watching what's happening politically, then I think you're sadly mistaken. I think we're having discussions here now in the country that we previously just never had. We're having discussions that we never had before, and well, we've had them, but they've never just been so defined as of now. So now you're having discussions in terms of not just race, gender, preference, for what your orientation is. I mean, we're getting right down to the who belongs in this country, who belongs here, and that is, I don't think we've ever heard that before. I think it was more so, hey, you come to America, you're born in America, you're an American citizen. Well, I think we're starting to see that change in totality. Um, and it's changed so much that it has now become a real life political issue. Is it just a political issue for white folk? Is it just a political issue? Is it a political issue for, um, you know, minority individuals? What is this conversation of birthright citizenship? Who does it include? Who does it entail? I don't think it's just white people. What is the demographic of Americans? What do Americans now look like? Traditionally, we knew that Americans really were white. We considered that as being American. You know, you would see white racism in terms of, oh, get out of our country. This isn't your country. This is our country. Then you saw that change. You saw black Americans in the country fight for freedoms and to say, no, we're citizens. You know, you saw that over a period of history of time. Then you've seen influx of immigration coming to the country. So you've seen diversity. You've seen diversity look a certain way in America. You've seen Americans be viewed in a certain light. You know, if you go to other countries, I served in the military, so you go to other countries, you represent the country, even though I look the way I look, hey, you're an American. So, what is America? What does it look like? Where is America moving towards? And that is the great question. That is the great question now that boggles the mind. One of the things that I had said on this very channel is that in the United States of America, once you remove racism, what do you replace it with? What do you replace the racism with? Because when you have racism, you have a definition on what the country looks like. One of the most dangerous things that you had with somebody like a Schmittler. It's a shame that I gotta say his name like that because we don't really want to be banned. But one of the things that you had, one of the issues you had with a Schmittler was that he attached a eugenic theory. He put, you know what I'm saying, a certain racial ideology. He put that in his speech, in his rhetoric, and in his movement, therefore causing a Holocaust. We know that that happened. So when that version of nationalism was race based, what's this version of nationalism gonna look like? Is the nationalism that we have in the United States gonna be race based? I'm setting this all up for the message. What these are questions that need to be answered. And in order to answer a lot of these questions, we have to look at history and see what is the historical context of the country. What was meant? What did the forefathers mean by citizenship? What were they looking for? So now we have to do a deep dive in history. We have to respect and honor what they meant in terms of their vision for the country, because we want to do that. The founding fathers, what does that look like? And of course, there may have been some deviation from what they initially thought. At the end of the day, there may have been some deviation from what the forefathers initially thought, in terms of how our law progressed. Okay. um what do I think America looks like now? I think America has been irresponsible. I think America has been very irresponsible in immigration policy, because America has not directly addressed the issue of race. And because America was afraid for so long to really go ahead and address the issue of race, they allowed an immigration explosion. Hey man, if you in here, I'm sorry, give me some time while I get all the trolls out of here. I don't know why y'all come and troll here. Y'all can go troll other places. And I don't, if it's not in English and I can't understand it, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. So, anyways, because America had not yet, and y'all hit the likes instead of just coming in and troll. Just hit the like button. Hit the like button. Dislike something. It don't matter if you dislike or like it. Come in, hit the like button. We want YouTube to recommend this conversation, and on this channel we put America first. So on this show we doing America first. Let me get that out the way. It's America first. It's gonna always be America first. I am a black American. I am the descendant of American black slaves, so it will always be America first. I have no other country to go to. This is my country. This is the flag for black people. This is the flag for white Americans. This is a flag for anybody that is a citizen. And we're going to talk about that more and more and more, okay? But y'all go ahead, hit that like button when y'all come in, because we talking about this is a good old American stream right here. This is a good old United States of American stream, and we're going to talk American politics. So whether you dislike it, like it don't matter. Y'all go ahead, come on in, hit that like button. Now go ahead, hit that like button while we talk about this great nation. I'm about to talk about the greatest nation in the world. The United States of America is the greatest nation in the world. So, what does the American identity look like when we have an America at this state? What is the identity of Americans? And it had not been addressed. And because it had not been addressed, and also the 14th Amendment was misused to become an immigration policy and have all these other little rules that accompany it. Now you have this situation in the United States today, in America today, where you have these protests that to me are very much so anti-American. Why is it in this country, in the United States, and let me get this straight, what I'm speaking of is not a race, this is not a racist statement. I'm not making any type of racial statements when I talk about the United States of America. I'm not making any racist statements when I say I find it egregious that other people are in our country, no matter what they look like, no matter what their ethnicity is, and wave their flag on this country. That is disrespectful to all Americans that fought and died for that flag to wave in this country. Hold on, y'all. Let me come back. You need to take your situation to your country. You need to take your allegiance to your country. That's what you need to do. You need to take your allegiance to your country. You should not be in here so proud. If your country is so great, why have you not gone and done the work that we had to do to make this country great? That's one of the things that I just don't like. What are you saying when you're waving your flag and you're coming in with your culture and your customs here, and you're trying to put that in our country? What are you telling us? What are you telling the country when you do that? What are you saying when you do that? When you come to this country and try to influence it, wave your flag, come with your politics. You have to adhere to the politics we have in this country. You have to adhere to the politics that we have here, in our country, the way of life that how we operate. I personally think that English needs to be a national language here. It's not, but it should be. I mean, I should not have to fight to be bilingual. I'm just sorry. Yes, I want to be able to accommodate those that need it. We want it done legally. We want to be able to accommodate those that are supposed to be here. But no, at any point, I don't feel like that we should have open borders and just allow anybody to come into the country and do what they want to do. I do not believe that. I will never, ever, ever like. Be honest. Does any country want an open border to where anybody can just come in and infiltrate and take advantage of a society that they really didn't work for? And this is not to talk about, again, because America has not addressed the issue of race and talked about race in its proper manner and context. Now we can just put this blanket term of racism over everybody. Man, that's not the case. That's not what we're talking about right now. Unfortunately, Mexican Americans, Latino Americans have a face on immigration because that's going to be the larger group, and holistically that's here. But immigration is being used by everybody: Jamaicans, Haitians, uh, Chinese, everything. I mean, it's all sorts of people that are abusing our immigration system. And yes, something needs to be done about that, because who are the true Americans? Are you coming here in hopes of being a citizen and being down with what we do in this United States government? Or are you just coming here to siphon out money and do whatever you want to do? I think that needs to be addressed. I think that needs to be addressed in totality, and it really just hadn't. It had not been addressed. So I definitely, yes, we need to do something about immigration. Illegal immigration can't be here. That boycott shouldn't matter. So what you're telling me is that you think that by boycotting the country, coming in, waving your flag, doing your thing, boycotting the country, we supposed to extend civil rights, all the rights for our citizens, to illegal. Okay, when they say undocumented workers, terminology is everything. You're talking about people that are here illegally. Like, you can miss me with that whole undocumented worker and all these fancy terms you want to use. When you say undocumented worker, you're saying that someone is here illegally. So here's my first question: why are you here illegally? It's no need for me to assume that these people don't have intelligence, because I don't believe that. I believe we're dealing with a very intelligent group of people because they're human. They can think, they're smart. They're able to come here and create businesses, make money, and operate within the government. They understand that they need to run from someone that's after them in terms of like the authorities. They understand that. So we know that they're wise. So why are you taking that chance to come here illegally in the first place? Why are you doing that? Why are you not going through the correct? I know it takes time. It's supposed to take time. So what you saying is you have no respect for the government and how the law works. That you're gonna come in and you're gonna force yourself on the country. That's what that is. You're forcing yourself in on the country. And as a citizens, we're supposed to just say we're okay with you doing that. So we're okay with you doing that. And then if you're from another country and then you're in here in the United States and you're a citizen, are you aligned with those immigration policies? That's a problem. That is a problem. And that's why I said we have to define who the Americans are. And then we start from there. We must define who the Americans are. When I go to Japan, I've never been to Japan, but if I go to Japan, I know who the Japanese are. China, if I go to China, I know who the Chinese are. I know that. I know who these people are. Now, it's going to be different here in the United States because there isn't really a strong ethnic background for who the Americans are. It isn't. But we have some information on who some of the ethnic groups were that were here, to create this institution. And no, I'm not riding with the whole, well, Texas was Mexico and California was Mexico. They lost that land in a war, y'all. Are we? So, wait a minute. You're telling me that the plan is you're going to leave that country, come here, immigrate, right? You're going to immigrate here. You're going to become a citizen, take this over, and then hand it back? That's treason. I know we're not talking about that, are we? Are we promoting that concept and an idea? That's very dangerous. That's why you have to have nationalism. And nationalism in the United States of America will look different from other countries because we have diversity. We have a strong brand of diversity here. And immigration has played a role in that. But you have to understand that the blacks did not immigrate here. They were brought here legally and mentioned in the Constitution. Anglo-Saxons did that, and along with the black, formed the country, and really with the Native American too. But also, we know what happens there. But there's three distinct groups here when the Constitution is being written. So when you have the 14th Amendment, the 14th Amendment is addressing black people, of course. It was supposed to be implied because who else was here? That's the other part that hadn't been discussed. When we talk about birthright citizenship, they are addressing the time, they are addressing the issues at hand, they are coming out of the Civil War. So it was it was implied, and I got that from the Greatest American today. My boy, we were talking about that on our podcast on the Greatest American Alive today, and he made a great point about that. It was implied already. We already knew what they were saying. The people that was born here, who was going to get birthright citizenship, because white Americans could determine their own citizenship here. They was a part of the people the ethnic group that created the country. So they were already going to be in determination on who the Americans were. They already did that. Now, they opened up the palette over time, their taste and what they would allow to be American. America is supposed to represent freedom. That's true. But there has to be a time limit somewhere because we can't have such a robust, we can't have this just free for all immigration policy where any and everybody can just come over here. And again, that amendment was never meant to address immigration. It was to address the issue at hand. That's why they said if you were born here. You got to think about how many American black slaves were here. And every other group that is considered non-white have used that. They have used that to become citizens of this country, and that is an issue. That's an issue, and a lot of times those subgroups will come and they'll take a big loads of crap on black people. They align with some of the racial ideas that previously have been here, and they will take big craps on us, all the while using the freedom that they didn't fight for. So me personally, I'm for birthright citizenship as it pertains to the 14th Amendment, and I think everyone else who belongs to another country needs to go through some process to become a citizen. You just can't come get this. Black folk was brought in as slaves, had to fight through Jim Crow, did all of that, and actually got legislated into being American citizens. What Anglo-Saxon, all he did, I'm not going to say all he did as if he didn't do nothing, but he orchestrated and strategized how to get the entire, this part of the world, all this land, he did that. So it's so silly to sit up here and say that Mexico and California belong to Mexico. No, it don't. If it belonged to Mexico, they would have had it. That belonged to the United States. The United States put the work in. Y'all go ahead hit that like button. I think we having a great conversation. And let me say this. Hit the like button. We want YouTube to recommend this channel. I think this conversation that we're having, even when we talk about immigration, is for everybody. Everybody needs to get in on this conversation because all other countries have some type of immigration issue that they're dealing with. Okay? But you have to understand, we just can't let everybody in. And also, we can't let you, you mean to tell me that we're allowing illegal immigrants to shut down our cities? We're allowing illegal immigrants to come in and actually shut down our cities and our highways and businesses? What are you talking about? Okay, again, and I'm going to keep saying this, because the issue of, this is what I mean when I say race. You know what ain't been addressed in the country? White and black people. That's it. That's the only racial issue that needs to be acknowledged. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the most subjugated group, even when it came down to some of these laws that were passed, were black people. Black people did not benefit from DEI. Black people did not benefit from affirmative action. Black people did not benefit from these things. So the only racial issue that needs to be discussed is between the white and the black. And the white person that has been in denial of slavery, that has been in denial of this, all the oppression that black people have had to endure in this country, you must address it. They're gonna have to address it because they're bringing up the Dred Scott. Why is that? Why are they bringing that up? The Dred Scott decision was a Supreme Court decision that said that black slaves, free or not free, could not be citizens of the United States. They had to go address that. Then you have to address all the accompanying laws around that. So the oppression of the black is how immigration is an issue now. Because through our oppression, our fight for freedom is how immigrants are able to be here in the first place. That's just what it is. Black people, get out of that immigration discussion. It ain't your discussion. You need to now, this is the time that you speak up for yourself and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't no go back to Africa. Ain't no this, that, and the third. We are Americans. Ain't no Pan-Africanism. Ain't no RBG flag. Listen to what I'm saying. We are supposed to be in this country. It's in that Constitution. We are heirs to the throne. Y'all got to understand, we are heirs to something that we built. You can't give this away. And you must deal with that Anglo-Saxon, that white. And that white got to address you now. Because now we got to define who the real Americans are. Now we have to have the real discussion of who the real Americans are. And the real Americans are diverse, but the real Americans have a core base. And that's just what it is. No, it's not going to be like the nationalism in China in terms of how they look, the ethnic group. It's not going to be a homogenous group. It's not a homogenous group. But there is a main little mixture there of people. And that's going to be your Anglo-Saxon, your American Black Slave, and your Native American is weaved off up in there. Now, when you talk about ethnically, yeah, Mexicans, Latinos, it's going to be all three. It's going to be black. Look, if we want to talk history and talk about the Amish and we want to talk about the black folk that came here prehistorically, we can talk about that all day, but that's not the discussion. And you need not get involved in that discussion because that takes us on a wild little goose chase and down the rabbit hole. We're not here to argue science, anthropology. We're here to argue where we, and to some degree, yeah, we can, because that's going to involve history. But what I mean, artifacts. What we're talking about right now is the formation of this country now and its history. That's what we're talking about. So I don't get into the indigenous discussion. Who are the black people that are here currently? Who are the black people that are here right now? Where do they derive from? You can't send them nowhere. That's why they talking about birthright, citizenship, black people. You are not an immigrant. They had nowhere to send you. When you came here in 1619, so from 1619 to 1865, now I know 1808, the transatlantic, let's say, okay, let's just talk all hypothetics because we can only talk approximately, or just approximately when we're talking about history. From 1619 to 1808, let's say 1808, the last batch of Africans may have come here. Okay, by the time you get to 1900, that's 100 years. You mean it's a group of people that at some point you don't allow them to read, so they don't even know their history. You have removed all the cultural install of where they are from, and you put your own install in. When you talk about American history, and then even with that, it was a fight to display American history correctly. But as far as the group of people that came here, the Anglo-Saxon wiped them and what they were about. They wiped their culture and then gave them their own culture. Now, we have a mixture of culture in there because there's a fight there. There are things that are going to be kept that'll make American pop culture and culture what it is because of the black influence. When you get rhythm and all of that, we talk about America. We see this in America. We know this in American history, y'all. It is the white and black that is the base of the creation of this country. And that's where the issue of race must be discussed. And once we get out of that, we can define who the real Americans are, and then we can come up with an actual immigration policy. Because no, you may be Mexico, you may be from Mexico, you may be Mexican, but this is not Mexico. This ain't Mexico. This the United States. And black people, where you gonna go? What flag you waving? Black folk, what flag are you waving? The RBG flag? That's what y'all. This Black History Month, and today is my birthday, so I'm gonna talk some history. My birthday falls in Black History Month, so this is excellent today to be talking about this. Oh, while this boycott is going on, y'all hit that like button. Come on, and show me some love just for my birthday. It's my birthday, y'all. I'm big 4-0. I'm 40. I'm Unc. I'm an uncle now. I'm Big Unc. Big Unc Charm God. I might have to change that, put that as Big Unc Charm God. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button, and throw 50K in the chat, because 50K, we going for 50,000 subscribers. We getting 50,000 subscribers this year on this channel. Y'all hit that like button, and it's my birthday. We celebrating blackness. We celebrating Black History Month, but we selling American first, America first. Because guess what? As a black American, why wouldn't it be American first? Why would it not be? Do you know that it is people that have called me Uncle Tom and Step and Fetch? Do you know that it's people that call me Uncle Tom and Step and Fetch for saying that? What's Uncle Tom about that? What's Uncle Tom about me telling you in this country that you deserve to be here because you were forced to work here? You, after you forced to be in work here, your history was removed. They gave you another history, and you made the country better. You made the country better. How we didn't make the country better with all the inventions that we had? How we didn't make this country great? How does the black American slave not make the country great? You are a part of the country. Stop saying that your slave lineage is terrible, because now your slave lineage is your calling card to citizenship. Because what's going on right now? What are they talking about right now when they talk about citizenship, birthright citizenship? They got to mention the 14th Amendment. They got to talk about something that was supposed to be about you from the get-go. So we need to be fighting for our true identity as it pertains to the United States of America. But you're not an immigrant, so you don't have to say this. And all this is a country of immigrants, man. That's a lot of liberal crap. This ain't no, look, there were some people that immigrated here, but trust me, when they set up the country, they wanted to define what citizenship looked like for the country and what citizenship meant to us as a country. Yes, it was a fight. Yes, it was a racial fight. When they were talking about race, they was talking about black folk. They just didn't put it directly in the text so it could be implied and misconstrued later. That's why they should have been more direct. But there was such a hatred towards black Americans that they couldn't be direct. And now, oh, what a pickle he done got himself in. Oh, that man done got himself in a pickle. All because your racism, you done got yourself in a pickle. And you got people out here thinking they American and they not. You got people coming into this country wanting to be American with you, and you force that black man right alongside you to work for. And guess what you got to do? You got to turn around and acknowledge that black man is your brother. That black man your brother. Because who are the Americans? Black people and white people are the Americans in this country. Native Americans, they had treaties with them. Y'all don't understand that? When we talk about the bill, now this is not racism that I'm speaking of. This is facts. But because of black Americans not being white, that's what gave diversity to everyone else. Because they were like, well, if we're going to deal with black folk, we might as well deal with other folk, because other folk are lighter than us. The most melanated people is the most subjugated group of people in the world. Y'all don't know that? That's true. This is not me victimhood, victim shaming, whatever the crap, or playing the victim. I got to give y'all facts so we can move on and talk about what's really going on in the country. Because we're talking about who has birthright citizenship. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button, everybody coming on in. I'm glad y'all coming on in. Hit that like button. It's my birthday today, man. Just give me a like for my birthday while I spit this great information that we need today. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button for me. And again, throw 50K in the chat. Y'all know we on the 50K sub movement right here today. Yeah, this year we on the 50K. We gonna have 50,000 subs in here, but we talking about America, baby, America first. But in order for me to talk about America first, I gotta talk about America's past. Yes, I'm American first. Yes, I'm a proud black American, but I gotta talk about your past, America. And now you have to talk about what you did. Because if you don't acknowledge what you did, you can't move forward past what you got going on right now. And what you have to acknowledge is, guess what you did? You had slavery over here. You had slaves going on. You oppressed a group of people that you had to come and legislate into society. And others have now taken advantage of that. No, I'm not supporting illegal immigration. No, I'm not supporting the undocumented workers being here. No, I am not in support of undocumented workers being here, taking the rights of the things that we fought for, especially, but that we worked alongside that Anglo-Saxon, no matter how oppressive he might have been, to build a free nation, the most powerful and the most rich country in the world. No, you just can't come here and get this stuff. I'm sorry. You just can't come get you just can't come get this stuff. And let me tell you about everybody want to say what we didn't do in the current day. We are the beneficiary. Your forefathers worked so you can be the beneficiary. Your job is supposed to take it. Your job is supposed to take it further. Your job is supposed to take it to a whole nother level. That's what you're supposed to do. So I don't subscribe to what we didn't do. We're supposed to carry on the torch. Well, if that's the case, then we would be giving up the United States Constitution. I'm not doing that. The United States Constitution was given to us by our forefathers. They put a cultural install in with that Constitution for how they wanted this government to operate and be led, because they were escaping tyranny themselves. They were escaping a monarchy. And they said, we don't want that here. We don't want a dictatorship. They passed that on to us. But we're not fighting no revolutionary war. We're not fighting no civil war. It's much easier for all of us now. But you can't have the mentality like that. You can't get lazy. You can't give up your country. I despise anti-American rhetoric. I despise anti-American rhetoric, especially the black American, because where you going? Where you going? You believe you finna go over to Africa and do what? Who you know in Africa? What type of mass exodus can black people make to Africa and it be successful? Minus the few that may be able to go and have some relationships. They trying to get over here. They're trying to get over here. Why you trying to run over there? Why you gonna run away from something that your forefathers fought for and died behind to make sure that you could get up and go vote, make sure that you can get up and go to Starbucks and not get your head beat in? Why would you leave that? Why would you leave that? So again, black America must wake up. The immigration is not your fight. The immigration conversation is not your fight. And they are benefiting from something that you fought for. So now that you have to be acknowledged, now that we know that the 14th Amendment applies to you, you got to go and say, hey, we're American citizens. We need to fight for what American citizenship looks like and what American citizens should have. American citizens should have. That's what we fighting for. That's what we going after. It's no reason why we should be involved in the immigration fight. It's not our fight to have. The immigration fight is not your fight. I'm going to say this again. The immigration fight is not your fight, black person. And the white man, the Anglo-Saxon, and all the others that he let in to be white, you have to mend your relationship. You have to find some type of restoration. You have to do something with that black American, because the only allegiance that you have from another ethnic group in this country are the main people that you oppress, because that's your invention. The American Negro is a white invention. Can I say that again? The American Negro is a white invention. The American Negro is a white invention. That's the only ethnic group that is going to align with you, is black folk. So how you don't take care of black folk? How you don't? I've been saying this. Do you know that black American fought for the Union and the Confederate States? That black man fought for and against white folk. For white folk. How we don't understand that, how they don't understand that. This is my issue. That was my issue with the Democratic Party, which I need y'all to understand. When we talk about racism and we talk about white supremacy, it was existing on both sides. It exists in mass. It had existed. But it was problematic for them in business. Especially when you talk about the boycotts we did. But the boycotts we were doing that as an American citizen. And we have laws that apply to us. The Democratic Party was just another version of white supremacy. And a lot of the systemic racism that you complain about came from over there. Because how could you see a group be oppressed for so long and not come up with any legislation that would actually improve the group? They didn't do that. Instead of them saying, hey, well, the 14th Amendment and, all of the citizenship talk is about black people, what they did, they remixed the Sprite. They came and took all the legislation that was meant for a subjugated group and gave it to everybody else. This is why when Ann Coulter says that civil rights, I've been hearing Ann Coulter say that. And I agree with that. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button. It's 30 people in here. Let's go and get 30 likes. I know we can get 30 likes. Everybody just come on in. Even if you don't know what I'm saying right now, just go and show some love. We're going to show some love today on February 3rd. This is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. We talking great American politics. I'm an American black man. This is Black History Month in the United States of America. I'm in Houston, Texas. Oh my, and we are talking about immigration policy. We're talking about politics. What a great day to talk politics today. I want everybody to be in this conversation because this is a remarkable conversation we're having. Go ahead and hit that like button. Y'all be acting too tough to hit the like button. Just like. You're on your phone. I know you're on your phone. Hit the like button. The Democratic Party took your rights. The Democratic Party took your rights and put it to every other group of people that didn't need them. And Coulter said this, hey, our rights as black Americans was addressing a group of people that were free from slavery, that had to come into society and be a part of society and be able to vote and be able to have protection under the law and be able to have everything the forefathers wanted for American citizens. That had to be addressed. And we had to address that. Much of the civil rights movement, all of the civil rights activity is surrounding that. And look, once we address that, we can talk about social programs. We can talk about class. We can talk about classism. We can get there. But immigration, that was something that was used and abused. Look at all the time. The Democratic Party is always going to pander. They pander to black people. Okay, once they stopped pandering to black people, they began pandering to immigration, and mainly Latinos, which they saw how that turned out for them. That became that's a split decision. Then they pandered, to the LGBTQ community. They're going to pander to everybody that's going to vote for them so they can push their agenda across. But the first group of people that you were supposed to address that you never addressed, and you left it out there long enough for a conservative party to come in and start talking about when you get with Donald Trump, you never addressed black people directly. And they'll call you racist for saying that. If a black person says, hey, that's why a lot of times we have to let other people say it. We had to let Donald Trump get up there, which, by the way, represents a group that historically been viewed as the creators of racism. So he has to come out and say, hey, this is what this means, and this is what they were talking about. And that's true. It had always been known what the 14th Amendment were talking about. But other groups of people, mainly on the Democratic side, who have their own hidden agenda, well, that's for everybody. Look at how it's worded. Just playing, tricks with words. No. It was implied back then. We knew who they were talking about. Now, we come to present day. We're here in present day, and you have a very diverse America. Diversity is good. You want diversity. There is no coincidence that you have the most diverse country in the world to be the richest, technologically innovative, which we got some work to do in that department. Everything that we've done, it's a reason why it is the most diverse country in the world, and you want diversity. But this gets me into something that's complicated to discuss because you're gonna have to talk about race, but you must begin to define what I'm finna say in terms of nationalism. I've always said that once you remove racism, racism was basically white men saying, okay, we're American. We're Americans. Everybody else, y'all got to work for it in some format. Okay. Well, when they say that America is no longer a racist country, they're correct in that regard. They're not talking about prejudice. They're not talking about segregation and people choose to live over here. Y'all, what they're saying is we do not have legislation that will back up oppression. They are right in that regard. That's what they're saying. Um, but at one time, what defined Americans was white. Now you look at today, because we removed oppression, we removed legislation that's backing it up and a racial identity to it. America's a much more diverse place. But who has the allegiance to America? Who has true allegiance to America? That's what we have to find out. And when we start talking about citizenship, the first group that's going to have the most allegiance to the country are the people that derive from here and have the longest history here. That's just by default. The people that have been here the longest, the people that have been here for hundreds of years, are going to have a love and sense of community in a place like the United States, okay? Because we've been here, like black Americans. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Africa. You drop me off in that you drop me off in Africa is like dropping me off in a place pitch black, no lights. I mean that's no pun intended. No lights, no nothing. I'm blindfolded, no flashlight. What I'm gonna do with that? I have no lineage. I have no heir to that. I'm not an heir to that at all, outside of ethnically. Okay, Anglo-Saxon Americans, Anglos, whites, many of them. We have last names from them. They been here. Where they gonna go? So that's gonna be your first Native Americans, indigenous people with treaties. Where are they going to go? So first, and when you talk about third generation, fourth generation, people that may have been here, maybe their family came 19. So that's your second wave. Okay? If you want me to believe that someone who's immigrating here, that just got here, that's coming here to make money, that's waving their flag, having allegiance to this country like I do, you're sadly mistaken. And no, I don't believe that you're entitled to the same rights as me because you're not a citizen. It's not about your race. Now, we should not treat you inhumanely. We shouldn't be beating you and coming up with, any type of. See, those are the things that black Americans went through that we said they can't do no more. That's why they're not taking billy clubs to your head, and they might do some fugazi stuff on the low because they do it to us. They beat us up, throw us in the back of a cop car. But for the most part, you can't be oppressed like that because we fought for that. So that's number one. They're not going to do that to you. But if you want me to believe that you're going to fight for some civil rights and you not even documented, no. What kind of real contribution are you making outside of taking resources out of the. This is a fight for resources. Y'all don't know that? This is a fight for resources. No, you just can't come from somewhere and you ain't been here to get these resources. No. Y'all hit that like button if you like resources. Everybody who like resources here, hit the like button. Everybody in this group, in this chat right now, everybody who likes resources and who believes in you should be a citizen of your country, hit the like button right now. Because there's no way you going to tell me you don't like resources. Your country is established for you to have resources. We sometimes go to war for resources. So no, I don't believe that another group of people can just come in and be naturalized like that. And according to the Constitution, the Congress is supposed to be coming up with that looks like. It's only that little verbiage and not being direct in the 14th Amendment that allows someone to have what is called an anchor baby. They're using, that's not meant for that at all. So I totally see what Donald Trump is doing when we talk about immigration, what he's trying to do. I understand it and I wholeheartedly agree with that. But what I think we need to understand as Americans is who are the real Americans. And no, it's not just white. It's not white people, but there's a definition of American. And even again, that next generation of Americans that, because okay, you have immigration when we talk about Ellis Island, New York, all of that, Italian, your Italians come in. Your Italians came in, okay? Other groups of people came into the country. So, but who are the real Americans and who has an allegiance to America? And the only other ethnic group, I'm going to say this again, the only other ethnic group outside of the Anglo-Saxon that is very much so attached to the country was here during its inception, who built it, who did the physical labor. The physical labor was a big part of the building of the country, are black Americans. But not everybody is black. Y'all gotta understand, when we say black in this country, we're talking about those that are the descendants of slaves that got through Reconstruction, that went to Jim Crow. That's who we talking about. We're not talking about Africans. We're not talking about Jamaicans. All melanated people, as it pertains to this country, are not black in that regard. Y'all gotta stop being offended by that. And then you have some people that with the Pan-African movement. Well, we all no. They still have an allegiance to another country. They have another country that they proud of. Where your country at? Here. My country is here. I don't have no other flag. I come from a community where you could go into a grandma's house and see Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy on the wall. Come on. What are we talking about? See, today, as I celebrate my birthday on February 3rd in Black History Month, I have reached the level of unk. I am an unk now, and I got to give unk information. Hey, let me read what you finna say, bro. You said you weren't a slave, bro. Why are you still talking about that? You always use that card. Get to work like everyone. Hey, I'm going to mute you because you know what? I'm not going to mute you because I want everybody to be here. I want uncomfortable conversations. If you could be quiet and listen, you need to listen to what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the lineage because I don't know what color you are. Hey, what color are you before I get into this, by the way? Why you talking about slavery? And this is not to, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to like stop you from talking, but what nationality are you, Phoenix? Also, your ancestors come from Africa. What nationality are you? I need to know what nationality are you so I can address you. We're not immigrants as it pertains to the United States of America. The current definition of how it pertains to the United States of America, no, because then we'll say that the Anglo-Saxon is an immigrant. As it pertains to the United States of America, we are not immigrants here. Okay, I'm glad. So you Mexican, right? I'm not an immigrant here. Black people came as legal labor. Black people were imports, and it was mentioned in the Constitution. In formation of the United States of America, we built it. As the Constitution was coming in to be built, they put us into the 14th Amendment, and then they said that we have birthright citizenship. So, don't miss me with that. My Mexican brother, I have all the love for you. I would love for black and Mexican alignment politically, but no, we're not the same. You have a country to go to. I don't have a country. I'm not an immigrant. And the Constitution has said that I'm not an immigrant. It said that I'm a birthright citizen. In fact, my brown brother, every one of you that have been able to be here was because somebody black made it possible. This is the fact, my brother. The 14th Amendment is talking about black folk because it is a Reconstruction Amendment. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments are Reconstruction Amendments. Now, if you just continue to talk in the chat and argue me, you're not talking about history. But when we talk about history, my brown brother, that's the truth. And that's why you're able to be here and utilize civil rights. Now, if you are a Mexican American, meaning that you are a citizen of the United States of America, me and you can have political alignment and we can talk about what we endure as black and brown people. But if you are on the side of illegal immigration, me and you are not on the same team. I cannot be on your team because I do not abide by or nor do I support illegal immigration. I just don't. Mexico had Texas. Mexico had California. But the Mexican government, the country, lost the war against the United States. Okay, so me and you, Phoenix, we have political alignment. Me and you're a citizen. You're here legally. I'm a citizen. Me and your people, the black and brown people, have to sit down and politically align, and we have to get some things straight. Because I have Mexican friends that don't think we should get reparations. They don't think, because they feel like, well, if y'all get reparations, everybody should get reparations. I'm in disagreement with that. Some of y'all may be for the immigration policies y'all want it to be lax. Well, I'm not for that. So we have to come together and say what we gonna be for and push America. Because I'm America first. I don't have another country. I'm black. Yes, I'm of African descent, but I'm black. No. I understand that, and you missed where I was talking about we all came. Yes, we all came. Look, if you want to be real, if we want to talk about the Mexican, y'all mixed. Y'all got Spanish, y'all got some African in there, and y'all have indigenous. So we talking about ethnically, yeah, we all came from somewhere, we all intermingled. But we're talking about as it pertains to the United States. I'm going to read your other country too. You said very few black Americans make it out the hood, and not because they don't get the opportunity, but because they don't choose to work for it. Okay, so you Mexican, I got to address that. You wasn't a slave. Why you still talking about that? Y'all always get to use that card. You need to work like everyone else. I'm glad you here. I'm glad you saying that. Hey, let me tell you something. When you say that we need to work like everyone else, all immigration came through black people. All immigration. There is no immigration policy that is here that allows for people that may look like you that got here. If it wasn't for black folk, what you mean? We not using the rate. We not using that card no more. Y'all get to use that card because it was for us. Your president even told you that. No. We not talking about the Native Americans and all of that. Y'all gonna keep using that. We got legislation with that. We got treaties with them. If that was the case, if you go study your ancient American history, Indians were here for thousands of years. Indians were here for thousands of years. And guess what? They lost the land. You know how they lost the land? Through war. Wars happen. I don't want to talk about that. If you Mexican right now and your people came from Mexico and you were able to be here as illegal right now, and your parents came and made it possible for you to be legal, that came through the 14th Amendment. Yes, black people and white people are from the United States. We ain't talking about the stolen land, fam. You could talk the stolen land, you can talk the land being taken. America went to war, acute manifest destiny. No, Mexicans is a mixed race group of people. You don't know your history. What is the Mexican made up of? What is the Mexican made up of? The Mexican is Spanish. They have some indigenous blood, and there's some ancestry there. Yeah, it wasn't stolen. We conquered the land. Manifest destiny. You need to get your history. Manifest destiny is how we got the United States of America. So when y'all get to talking this nonsense, talking about it's our land, and see, I'm going to tell you something. This is my issue with some of my Mexican brothers and sisters. And I'm calling y'all my brothers and sisters because y'all are. Y'all come talk that rhetoric right there, but you an American citizen saying what we didn't do. But the only reason why you are possibly here is because of the American slave, dog. The American slave is, in the 14th Amendment, is why you get to be here. Because that Kim Art used that in a Supreme Court decision. He was from China, used it in the Supreme Court decision to say by being born here, you're an American citizen. That's how you get the immigration issues. Man, miss me with who got slaughtered. Hey, we got beat. Black folk got beat up. Okay, now you saying I'm here because this is my race, belong in America. Hey, what generation of Mexican are you? What generation of Mexican are you, Phoenix? Do you have any type of lineage from Mexico? Do you have any? I'm talking about how much time? Now maybe, hey, in Texas, you got Tejanos that just been here, even when we came and got it. But we conquered the United States of America, bruh. Okay, you full Mexican, but you in the United States. What I'm saying is, where you from? Where are you from in the country? And how long have your... Oh, you was born in Mexico? Now, that proves my point right there. That proves my point. I've been talking about allegiance to the country. He born in Mexico. Now what he talking about? Now he legal here, and then he saying this ain't our land. How that's gonna work? That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Look at what he just said. He born in Mexico, so he don't got no type of... He don't care about slave history. He don't care about slave history, slavery, 14th Amendment. He don't care about none of that. And look at what he's saying. It's not your land, born in Mexico. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Illegal immigration, gotta go. You see what I'm talking about? Illegal immigration gotta go. I'm from the United States of America, and I'm mentioned in the 14th Amendment, and you not. You just been using it. But you not mentioned in the 14th Amendment. I love you, my brother. I hope that you know, and if you're illegal, you're an American citizen. But it's America first. It's America first, and it don't need to be no other waving of other flags and talking about other nations in our country. And I love Mexican people. I'm from Texas. I love the Mexican people. I want Mexican and black unity politically. I love my Listen, y'all are my brothers. But when we talking about the citizenship of the country, when we talk about the citizenship of the country, this is the United States of America. We are American citizens. I am America first. I am America first. We all about the United States of America. That's why legal immigration has to go, and nationalism must now be a part of our country. It's not hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy because we are citizens of the United States. We are citizens. We are citizens of the United States of America. We the people. It was formed to be a perfect union through that Constitution. I believe in that. We want the cartels gone. We want the borders closed. We want tough immigration laws. Yes, we want that. We want that. Y'all hit a like button right now if you love the United States of America. Hit a like button if you love the United States of America. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you America first. Hit that like button if you about keeping your resources. Hit that like button if you about good commerce. Hit that like button if you about freedom of speech. Hit that like button if you like freedom. If you like freedom of speech, hit that like button. You should be able to say what you want to say. Listen to what I'm telling you, Phoenix. I understand what you're talking about. Listen, you're making an ethnic argument. You have an ethnicity argument. All of us came from Africa, if you want to be honest. Do you want to have a conversation? You got Africa. We know that we came from other places. But, bro, we talking about right now. You said, listen, my brother, question as in a black man. Does America put you first? America don't have to put me anywhere because it put me in the Constitution, brother. The United States of America, our ancestors fought so we could be mentioned. What is the conversation right now? The conversation right now is who has birthright citizenship. That white man had to get on TV and tell you that it belonged to the children of African slaves. What are you talking about? I'm not stepping fetch. I'm not Uncle Tom. I'm not kissing the white man's butt. But the white man has to acknowledge me. No, he hadn't put me first. Yes, he's oppressed me from 1619 all the way to 1865. My bad, 1965 and really on out. What do you mean? That's why I can't take it when anybody comes from another country trying to say what we did and didn't do. Yeah, he oppressed us. But guess what? He legislated us too. We have a reality. We are a birthright citizens of this country. We birthright citizens of this country. We supposed to be here. We have to fight for what we need. That's what we have to do. What do you mean? Y'all hit that like button. Y'all, let's run them likes up, man. Run them likes up. Ain't no way. Run them. Hit that like button right now. Y'all hit that like button if you want freedom of speech. Hit that like button if you like freedom of speech. Hit that like button if you like to go into somewhere that isn't segregated. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you like diversity in America. Hit the like button. Hit that like button if you like having the freedoms that you have in the United States of America. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you love having the right to protest. Hit that like button. We supposed to be here. We supposed to be here. Now, I think that Mexican Americans are divided on this, Phoenix. I'm just gonna be honest. I think a lot of y'all, many of y'all side where I side. We want the USA to thrive. Many of y'all side where I side. So we got, look, my Mexican Americans who are here, who are citizens of the country. Y'all are a part of the greatness. Y'all are a part of the greatness in the country, and yes, y'all have brought culture here. We're not talking about Mexicans. We talking about the undocumented workers here. Yes, we all immigrated from somewhere else, but now we must come together, and guess what? We must fall under the flag of being Americans. I'm not, listen, my descendants may be in Africa, but I'm not waving an African flag. That white man came from Britain, but guess what? He not waving no British flag. Everybody have to understand we must come here and form, we must be the United States of America. And the entire United States of America is one big bowl of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's why he said he's going to get rid of it. You got to make it a meritocracy. Why not? It's not just white people here no more. It's not just white people here right now. It's everybody here. Black folk, white folk, Mexican, Chinese. That's American. We must say to ourselves as all Americans, illegal, undocumented workers, no. Immigration, cease. To the American citizen that is here, pay us. We need good worker movements. We need to get the middle class back. Y'all, we got so much political. Listen, the Democratic Party needs to wake up and rebrand. And I think it's going to be hard for them to do that because they have put their entire party on sexuality. They talk about sexuality. They talk about all these alternative lifestyles and all these genders. That's the issue. We're not talking about that right here. We're not talking about that right here. What we need the Democratic Party to do, if they're going to do anything, is start talking about social programs that affect American citizens and building a strong middle class. That's what you got to do. You got to get away from everything else and talk about what America is. What does the American look like? The American is not the illegal immigrant. The American are all the people that did immigrate here and are now legal and make up the United States of America. That's who we are. We're diverse. It's not racism. The white man may never address his racism, but that's what we here to do. We have to talk about the middle class. We got to talk about the moolah. That's what we got to talk about. Get this gender stuff out of here that's tearing us up. That Democratic Party lost and ain't going to get it back talking this nonsense. I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all hit the like button. If this is a good conversation, even if you don't agree with me, hit the like button. If you think this is a great conversation that we having and you just tuned in because it's exciting that we talking about some good politics. You got to understand, man, like if there's other conversations to be had, even in the Republican Party. We can be diverse and be in the Republican Party and come up with programs that's going to affect the middle class. I don't think that all white people are racist. But white people have to acknowledge the racist past. White people don't want. Okay, let's talk about white people. Now, this ain't about white people, but let's talk about white people. White people have issues acknowledging their past. That's why they was trying to erase it. And the very thing that they trying to erase, they got to go back and source it again because they needed to fight this immigration policy. So y'all wanted to change the terminology of slavery. Oh, they were indentured servants. No, it even say in the Constitution, slave and indentured service. It talks about enslaved people. Slavery was abolished, so we know it exists. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about Jim Crow because y'all are tired of being ridiculed. You've never seen white people get fired for using racial slurs until the cell phone. You have never seen white people get fired for using racial slurs until the cell phone. You haven't seen that. But let me tell you something, white people, we need y'all just acknowledge the racism. That's all we want. That's all we want you to do. You can't change the past. Acknowledge it. Let's all accept each other as Americans, those of us that citizens. Let's talk about nationalism so we can go ahead and fight our immigration issue. Because the more y'all deny racism and kind of keep it up, y'all making it hard for America. Y'all got to stop that. A lot of y'all have, listen, okay, it happened. We going to move past that. We going to move past that. We didn't fall for the legislation. We didn't deal with whatever. No, all white people are not racist. Not all white people are racist. But y'all got to at least acknowledge that it happened. Y'all got to acknowledge that slavery, to say America has never been a racist country, but now you got to backdoor and talk about the 14th Amendment. You got to backdoor and talk about the 14th Amendment and why it's and why you need it. Yeah, man, come on. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of that. You have to acknowledge your racist past, and then we can move forward. That's what we got to do. That's what we have to do. But illegal immigration, nah. Hey, man, look, hit that like button. I want y'all to subscribe. Everybody, I want y'all to subscribe right now, y'all. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Because I got a feeling we're going to be talking a lot of politics. We finna be talking a lot of politics. I'm really going to start doing some stuff in the community here in Houston. It's political season. I need y'all to follow this. And I need y'all to throw 50K in the chat. Because we're going to get 50,000 subscribers to this channel this year. We working on that right now. But I need y'all to hit that like button. And I need y'all to subscribe. Because we having great conversations, man. But hey, I'm going to get out of here. It's my birthday. I'm celebrating today. I just had to come in and talk. Y'all can run a replay on this. I appreciate everybody here who commented and talked and whatever. America first. I love this country. Love y'all. Peace.